thing. I clicked the button and you started laughing at me.
Because I'm still laughing at the song you did before we got started.
Hey, it'll catch on.
Oh my god. For DMCA policy, let's not risk it.
Did you hear me go into singing it?
Thank goodness you did not.
That's usually the other reason why I wait a minute before I go live, just to give that an option to...
All right, everybody. Welcome to the GenXCynics End of Year Review 2021. I am one of your hosts, Kalari GXC.
I am Axiom Wolf, Master of Mystery.
Now, we had taken some time off from these casts because mental health is very important to us. And I
started a new job,
yeah,
and I was very tired. And I wanted my sleepies.
Exactly. Starting new work really does take a lot out. And a lot of streamers are in the same boat where you're working and you're streaming. So it's very important when you're tired to just take the time off. Because if you're not feeling it, it comes through when you're doing these streams.
My beard is coming along very nicely.
Yes, it is, actually.
Look at that. Yeah, look at
This
that.
is what he wanted, y'all.
This is why we do it. This is the whole reason.
But as captains of Team Shut-In, because Axiom's new work is from home, thank goodness. We understand that it's been a rough 2 years for so many of you, but, you know, for those of us who are Gen Xers...
It's been rough like 30-some years for me. But...
No, but I'm talking about the last 2 years really honed in our stay indoors mentality.
Yeah, I am full Team SpongeBob right now. Indoors, indoors. See, I did it differently so that Nick can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
You're so crazy. But yeah, the thing is with being raised like latchkey kids, a lot of us went right home from school, was raised by a TV. You're staring at me very intently.
I'm just paying attention because I was sitting there debating, like, do I ask what a latchkey kid was? Because I was really sheltered as a child, so I didn't really... The TV didn't really raise me as I went home. I mean, it was there, but so was Mom, so, I mean...
Not my house. I was basically the mom, and I wore the key around my neck. That's why they called us latchkey kids. You know, most of us had keys to get home because we were responsible for making sure the house was locked, unlocked, making sure our siblings got home safe, and we were called latchkey kids because of it. So
not so much a problem for me, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, Cincinnati, how's it going?
Hey, Cincinnati, welcome to the chat. So the thing is, being at home playing video games, especially on the weekends, since going out really wasn't a thing. My mom had to work. Dad wasn't really there a lot, so it was natural for me to be indoors and be home. So when pandemic had finally got to a point where we couldn't ignore it anymore, it was like, oh, you mean I get to stay away from people? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But the problem I'm seeing is a lot of people still want to get back to normal, and they're not accepting the fact that we have to make adjustments. And I'm seeing that in entertainment.
Yeah.
This was a rough year for...
You're seeing it everywhere. Everybody's like, okay, we got a kind of a handle on this. Let's go ahead and go back to full normal. It's like, no, you have to stick with what we're doing for a little bit longer.
Exactly.
And get a full handle on it before you just decide to be like, hey, you know what? Half the security system's up. We got cameras so we can see what's going on. Let's just go ahead and go full swing. No, you have to wait until the fence is up. The security guards are hired. Everything. Especially
with the new variants out, I honestly feel like it would take an amazing... I mean, it would have to be some of my favorite artists, and even then, to get me to go to any conventions anymore, to go to a movie theater. Is out... After being able to watch Suicide Squad the first week in our home on the big TV, I don't have the compulsion to sit in a movie theater anymore.
I am a huge Spider-Man fan.
Me too.
Okay.
We were looking forward to this.
That was my hero. That was who I went with. Love Stan Lee, love Spider-Man. The new movie came out yesterday. I didn't even go near a theater. Like, as much as I love that, they will get their money out of me by buying the movie, by buying, like, I'm going to buy a digital copy, I'm going to buy the physical copy.
We got Disney Plus. We're going to be watching Shang-Chi later.
Yeah, I'll be buying the Steelbooks. I'll be buying all kinds of stuff. They'll get their money out of me one way or another. I am not risking my health to go to a theater so that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the theater experience. it's just not worth it.
And me, it wasn't so much the theater experience. It was going with you and our friend Jake. All humbleness aside.
I'm very humble.
Uh-huh.
No one is as humble as me.
My ideal was, I loved it when we got to the movie theater and there was barely anybody in there.
Yeah.
But it was a crapshoot. Because, like, you would expect Deadpool 2 to be nothing but adults, and we had the toddler incident.
Yeah.
I was like, they legit brought their toddler to watch Deadpool 2 and then let them eat popcorn off the floor.
Yeah.
So for me, the movie experience is like, it just reminds me I don't want to be around people.
It's a mixed bag because you get certain times where you try to do it where, like, okay, it's noon on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And that's usually what I shop for because it's like most people are going to be at work. It's like anybody there is going to be like me. They just want to come in, sit down, and see the movie quietly with no one else bothering them. But you always have those few couple of people that are just like, hey, you know what? Let's go to the movie theater. It'll be hysterical. And they go in and they're loud. They're just
rude. The vapors, remember them?
Yeah. What movie were we watching that they were vaping in?
I think it was the Sonic movie.
Was it the Sonic movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we're sitting there all the way, like, the theater that we got, we sat all the way in the back because we're sitting about level with the screen. And we looked down there, and there's two people vaping at, like, 3 rows ahead in the middle of the theater. And I was like, you know, it's not smoking, but that's still dangerous.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that, and welcome to the chat, hi. Hey, Solomon.
Hey, Solomon.
That's the thing that kills me about the movie theater experience,
too. He did there. Solomon did it, but it looks like...
Yeah.
It looks like Hi has done it. That's weird. You fooled us. You tricked us.
Nightbot.
You're very sneaky. You got past the security bots, but that's okay. We have real people to watch you.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, I just, like I said, I feel like going to the movie theater has always been a mixed bag for me. I've had good experiences. Like, I went on the opening day for Black Panther,
right?
Which was, I did get nervous because that one guy that was like, hey, that's my scene, and we moved over, and then he ate, didn't watch the full movie and left, so I was minding the exits to make sure he wasn't like an active shooter, because he was like, and you're going to take this the wrong way, I don't care. He was the only white guy in the whole movie theater at the time. So having him act that way and then leave mid when we weren't making noise or anything, we were all just enjoying the movie, my mind went into I'm going to protect my son mode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time... Actually, it was the next one.
Blowfield from Bond.
Oh, the blow... Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch that much Bond, but I get the reference.
Yeah. But yet the...
Can I get a cat and just...
The whole idea... Oh my gosh. You're a mess.
She has cat-like tendencies.
Yeah, I will scratch, though.
You are not prepared for this, Mr. Bond.
Oh, come on. But yeah, the whole idea of going to the movie theater has always made me nervous anyway. Like, one of our first dates, even though we were still long distance, was a virtual Valentine's Day Deadpool.
Yeah.
And I still had a dude try to sit next to me, and it was like, I'm dating somebody. Yeah. I know I look alone, but I'm not really alone.
That is the hard part about dating long distance, but you find little cute things to do with your significant other. So, like, what we did is we didn't go opening day for Deadpool. I think we waited till, like, a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, though.
Was it Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Okay, so we waited until, like, hey, you go to your theater at this time, I'll go at this time. We'll technically be watching the movie at the same time, so it's kind of like we're together, but we're not, but we kind of are. And you have to have the right mentality for that, because it won't work with everybody. There are some people that are just like, no, it's stupid. And I was like, well, you got to take little joys you can. And it was just kind of fun, because when, I think we're about maybe a half an hour off, because mine started at 2 and yours started at 2:30 or vice versa.
Yeah.
But by the time we got done, it was like, so how was your movie? Oh, you loved it? It's like, you know, you do little things when you have to date long distance. And
it was only the weird fedora guy that made me kind of like, take him, buddy.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But
and now I can annoy her at a moment's notice.
So far, so good, though, for movies. I mean, all of us have enjoyed it. Yeah. Suicide Squad, for me, was probably my
Suicide
top
Squad was nice
for
because
this
all
year.
we had to do, we threw some popcorn in the microwave. We have popcorn buckets that actually say popcorn on them, so they look like they're movie theater buckets, which fit an entire bag perfectly. So it's just like getting a bowl of popcorn from the movies. And we don't have to risk ourselves.
And I went into that movie with such low expectations that it was pleasant. You know, because I remember the first one, which was awful, and I'm not even going to hide it. I know there are some of you who are fans of the original Suicide Squad. I was not. The Suicide Squad actually made me care.
This one was much better because it had... The whole time I was watching the first Suicide Squad movie, I was sitting there going, why can't the Justice League handle this?
Yeah, this one, it makes sense.
Why isn't the Justice League? Why isn't Zatanna here? Why isn't there some heroes handling this situation?
Yeah, it wasn't wrong
with the second Suicide Squad. You figured out why the heroes aren't handling this situation.
They made it make sense why it would be covered up, why they would ask people that are basically expendable to handle it. And I was like, why was that missing from the first one?
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to make something a government conspiracy.
It was just they had the wrong, nothing against the director or anything like that, but I thought it was kind of funny. Like the first thing they did in the second Suicide Squad movie was kill most of the people from the first Suicide Squad movie.
Because it was because it was really a bad mashup of characters, A, and B, their motivations just didn't make sense. They still tried for like the family dynamic and certain gut punches, but they explored more the toxic family that a lot of us understand. And I know I may actually laugh with that because Homeboy and his daughter just reminded me a lot of my father. That whole you're not supposed to get caught mentality. Not even mad that she was doing something illegal, but it's the Suicide Squad, because that was one of the top movies.
Right now we're talking about Suicide. We're going to kind of go over everything that just happened in the past year.
That we enjoyed.
Like, what would you say, like, not social media-wise, but entertainment-wise.
Entertainment-wise and geek stuff, gaming and all that.
We're going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Even though technically the year's not over, but I don't think we're going to do one next week because that'll be Christmas.
That'll be Christmas, and then the week after that, we may be there for New Year's Eve, but it'll be the new year.
Yeah.
So
we're doing a wrap up a little early.
Yep. So this is just our end of year stuff because we've experienced a lot of good, a lot of bad, and in between. Yeah. And movie wise, honestly speaking, the Suicide Squad was the top for me because the only other one that I really remember was A Hitman's Wife Bodyguard, and that wasn't a really good movie, but it wasn't as bad as some of the critics were saying.
Axiom Dad for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if my genetics will let me do that.
I'm too old to dab. I'm not even going to fake that fun.
What is the dab thing? I want to make sure I do it right if I'm doing it. Is that the little arm thing?
I think so. I told you, I'm too old for this. This is like beyond my tier.
Cincinnati, yesterday...
I am in my mid-40s, y'all. I don't know. This is beyond me.
Yesterday's stream, I got out of work right as Cal was going to do her Bonnet Chronicles, and I like to mod for that, so that's what happened with yesterday's stream.
Yeah.
Wednesday's stream was, again, a late one. I had to do it at 7 o'clock because that's when I got out of training. Coming up to this next week, it'll be about 6.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit earlier, but...
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that.
Unfortunately, right now, any morning streams will have to be on the weekend.
Thing? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
I guess. I tell people, I'm old. I know you don't believe it, but I am. I'm an old lady.
I don't... Like, I've settled into old man age at a young age.
Yeah.
So...
As Gen X, I could claim old, young. We're in-betweeners, but I like to tell people I'm old. Some of the stuff that people are into, y'all will talk to me, I'm like,
sneaks into your arm, okay. Yeah, so you put your head down into I gotcha.
Wow.
I can Cabbage Patch. Raise the roof.
Do the Running Man. Oh my goodness.
A couple weeks ago on GenXCynics, I vogued.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Vogue.
I just did it now.
some of these celebrities were showing their behind literally this year. And Madonna, no disrespect to Madonna, she is a artist. She's been around since we were kids, and she's a global name. But in your 60s, you need to chill out. You don't need to prove your sexuality to anybody.
Yeah.
I am sure there are men that would give their last arm. So when she's out there, like, literally flashing her behind on TV shows, and the only reason why I even know about this is because of Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a lot of followers on Twitter, they rehash everything, and there was a big debate about whether or not she should do it. It's like, she's going to do what she wants anyway. I just feel that I got to the age when I'm just comfortable being me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to be anything but here.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy trying to be relevant in this day and age.
What her problem might be, she doesn't know what to do with herself anymore. I think she's pretty much...
Her kids are almost all grown now. You know, and she's an entertainer. She should still be making music or working on her acting, which I'm not a big fan of her acting, but hey.
So there's a lot of work to get done there.
Exactly. You know? But she wants to be known for antics still, and it's just, for me, somebody who's almost 20 years younger than her, it's weird. I don't ever want to be in that position.
It almost says my girlfriend mom was singing like a virgin, and I almost threw up.
She grew up with that song, though. I remember when she first performed that on MTV Music Awards.
I like Weird Al's rendition. Like a surgeon.
You knew you were tops when he parodied your songs, though.
He's another one, though. Like, he doesn't, like, I'm starting to wonder if Weird Al doesn't absorb youth from parodying other people's music.
I don't know,
because he does not look like he has aged much.
He's finally learning social media, too. He's been tweeting up a storm and going on Instagram, but it's like, will you stop posting stuff of you checking emails? I know that used to be the thing where you gave people details of everything you're doing in your life, but you're making us olds look bad. Stop it. Nobody wants to see a picture of your laptop as you answer emails.
Would anyone like to see a picture of my Twitter with that? Me just checking emails. Her mom was like 55. That's not bad.
Yeah. That's not that much older than me.
I'll get 11 more years.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just a weird time to be in.
Post on Twitter.
Yeah. That's what Twitter really is most of the time. You post the unpopular... You post
I can narrate it too while I'm doing it. I realize with my new job, it's basically answering phone calls that I talk with my hands when no one can see me.
Yeah.
Like, I took a couple...
Whereas, as a New Yorker, I talk with my hands no matter what.
That's why, like, right now, they're kind of just pinned.
Yeah.
Because I
What's
realized...
the matter for you?
I realized, like, mid-call that I was sitting there going, look on your screen, do you see this? And I'm like...
They can't see me.
Who is this helping? Who am I doing this for?
For yourself.
Yeah. Pretty basically, yeah. So I sit on my hands like this now so that I don't do that.
But yeah, 2021 has been a trippy year. But movie-wise, I can't say a lot of movies stood out because we didn't get to see a lot yet.
Well, a lot of it, they didn't stand out. A lot of stuff got pushed back. A lot of stuff has gone, like, straight to streaming.
And... I prefer that, but a lot of stuff we wanted to see was theater release only for a bit, and it's like, I'm not risking myself to watch it. So we've been TV heads all year, and there was good TV. Like, Slime was my top.
Oh, yeah.
2021 was the year of Rimuru for me. I really loved the way it was written. I was glad. Thank you, dear.
She hates it when I do that.
I really wish you would stop.
I wish I could have recorded you before we started watching it, because I legit...
Well, you gotta understand.
I said, hey, why don't we watch that time I got reincarnated as a slime? And you just looked at me like, really? You want to watch that?
As somebody who is constantly, like, I'm legit constantly recommended stuff by people.
Yeah.
No lie, because I play D&D and I'm well known on Twitter for some odd reason. I'm constantly recommended stuff. So especially Isekai. People want me to watch it because they're hoping that it will help me finish right and the one I'm working on too. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was getting it confused also with How to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, which a
true.
lot of people were recommending that to me too.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of isekai, so I wasn't even sure what slime was at first. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it, because you've rarely picked misses. A lot of the newer anime we've watched together has been really good. But my initial reaction was I wasn't sure which one it was.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode and I was hooked.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's how good it was.
Because I looked over and I was like, I might as well not even be in this room right now.
It was that good.
Yeah.
And we don't want to give heavy spoilers because we're not sure if any of you have watched it. But I just feel like the characters are well. There is no one character, even the bad ones.
There are no unnecessary characters, is what I like about it.
They all fit.
Everything flows
even
really well.
People that you think are just like lesser background characters are important. So much so that we play the slime game that was released this year. Yeah. You know, though I'm still waiting for Bandai to unlock
Bandai needs
my
to
account.
Come on, because she got locked out of her account because of one of your updates, and they said it would be 10 days, and it's 2 events,
man. I'm pissed. You know, my thing is, you get excited because you love these characters. Mm-hmm. And that's a sign of something being well written. If you said in the recent interview, he doesn't really game, he's not watching much TV, and I call BS on that. I think he did it a lot as a kid, because you see those influences. Yeah. You see the nerdy influences of somebody who grew up around that culture.
Well, he probably doesn't anymore. He probably just
he's probably all focused on
enjoys the
writing.
shows that he likes, and then he writes what he wants to write from that.
Because we're pretty much the same way. I know a lot of people are constantly like, well, what are you into now? And it's like, I'm kind of still into stuff from 30, 20 years ago.
Retro TV.
Yeah. You know, there are a few newer things. Like, we enjoy What If immensely. We talked about that a couple of shows back. It was really well written. I'm looking forward to Marvel Zombies now.
I didn't know that they were going to tie it all in together at the end, but once I saw that they were starting to tie everything together, I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah, it was very well done, and I'm excited with the direction.
Bye, Sis and Ed. Have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. Oh, Thanks for stopping by.
I'll definitely be on Monday. Monday will be 6 o'clock. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
For Mario Monday. Get your codes in.
That will most likely be my schedule, 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Depending on how tired I am from work. If I'm really tired, it might be 8.
Yeah.
But 6 p.m.
But another show that we really enjoyed this year was the He-Man saga, and we gotta watch the second half of
Revelations,
that.
I think it was called. Yeah, we haven't watched season 2 yet, but I was really impressed. I don't know why Kevin Smith got so much crap.
Because nerds are gonna nerd. And old nerds especially.
If you watch the old He-Man, when there was a cliffhanger, that was standard cliffhanger. Hey, see you guys next episode. See you guys next season. Why he got so much crap for that? He did it exactly as it would have happened if it was a regular episode.
And he didn't Walking Dead cheese it. I'm sorry. Even though I did enjoy Kirkman's run on What If, I feel like he's starting to finally get it out of his system, the gimmicky stuff. I always compare cliffhangers to that awful Negan cliffhanger because it was so unnecessary. And Masters of the Universe didn't do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of shocking, but He-Man had already died at that point anyway. So really, I wasn't shocked by the so-called cliffhanger. Especially since you didn't get the sense that that was the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there was, like, if they would have just ended it there and they had no plans for a season 2, I would have been ticked along with everybody else. But I was like, no, it's a cliffhanger. It got you pumped to see what was going to happen in season 2.
Especially with all the lore that they put out there about Grayskull, about the afterlife, all of that.
Of, like, how the sword was actually 2 different swords, and that's what happened during when he was trying to contain that power, is that it just split into its halves and everything like that. And I like the fact that they actually show, hey, he wasn't the only, like, He-Man. There were people that are chosen, and their reward for being chosen is they go to heaven, basically.
Yeah.
Which I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. They're actually delving a bit more into Eternian lore and, like, how much that planet needs magic.
Yeah. and how far-reaching the magic is as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like season 2 is going to keep expanding on that, so I'm looking forward to it.
I want Kevin Smith to animate the He-Man Thundercat crossover comic now from that, because that was a good comic. It was a really nice story seeing them.
I want Cartoon Network to stop putting out our stuff as Go style too.
Yeah,
because I'm over that.
I tried to watch the first episode of Thundercats Roar. I couldn't get through the beginning animation.
I can't do it because I knew it was going to be silly.
Yeah.
Like, I had my hopes up for Teen Titans going. I watched a couple of episodes because it's funny.
It wasn't bad. It
really is funny, but after a while it's like, this is the same stuff.
It's the same joke.
Over and over, and it's not funny anymore. They're singing again.
It would have been better to me if they would have taken the show somewhat seriously, but added that little bit of slapstick.
Had slapstick, but episodic, kind of like Steven Universe. Yeah. As much as people want to ding Steven Universe, it had it all. It had the music, it had the slapstick, but it had a story. And I know Cartoon Network thinks we could sell more stuff if we don't have a story. We just churn out whatever slapstick stuff. And it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I would rather watch the characters have a point. That's why I love anime so far. Even I've been watching a lot of Slice of Life. He's been watching it with me, which I love you for doing that. But
you don't
right
watch
now,
bad shows. I mean, they're entertaining to watch.
Yeah, my favorite is things like Uzaki Sam Wants to Stay Over. That's the one where the college students they're not dating yet, but in the manga they are. And then My Senpai is Annoying is one of my favorites. I'm going to watch the newer one later on tonight as well. And the thing is, the stories have a point. They're taking a long way home to get to the relationship part of it, but it's still a build-up that you want to watch. Whereas American cartoons seem to be veering away from a lot of stories. And I know before people start with, no, they've got like the Infinity Train Saga. I get that. I get that there are a few dark horses that are really good, but for all of those, you still got a ton of Cartoon Network ones that aren't that good.
Everything that's starting to come out now is like almost another Family Guy or The Simpsons and stuff, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I love The Simpsons, I love Family Guy, but what happened to having like Saturday morning cartoons where you got an episode and it had a story and there was a plot and there was a lesson to be learned? You don't get any of that now. It's like, okay, this is what's going to happen this week, and next week everything resets, and there's no consequences to our actions. It's like, that is a dangerous...
And they don't support serialized storytelling in animation anymore either, which is very frustrating. We've seen that with the cancellation of the Venture Brothers. Yeah. And James Urbanski, I'm going to butcher his last name. Why can't I say it? Urbanski?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
he does the voices of Doc Venture. He's an amazing character actor.
I can't say his last name either.
Yeah, he just tweeted out the other day about recording the final scripts for the movie that's coming out, which I'm happy that we're at least getting that. Yeah. We're getting the Metalocalypse movie that we waited almost 10 years for as well. Yeah. But Cartoon Network doesn't have a good track record with their storytelling anime.
Cartoon Network anymore.
No, it really isn't.
That's the bad part. They basically shelled it out because it used to get...
We went from cartoons to I don't really know what's going on anymore.
And look at Cartoon. It launched Courage. It launched
Dexter. It launched the Powerpuff Girls.
Dexter's Lab, not Dexter the serial killer. I gotta
Dexter's
specify.
Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Samurai Jack, Ed, and Eddie.
And all those shows, it helped people, and technically even Family Guy, because
Family Guy's
Seth
creator.
MacFarlane's first show that was very similar to Family Guy.
A lot of Butch Hartman stuff. Yeah. You know, there wouldn't have been Danny Phantom or the Fairly Odd Parents without
that launching point. And instead of building on that, instead of being like a hub for
newer
animators and new people with new content and new ideas, they just said, hey, you know what? We're not going to do that, and we're just going to pander to the lowest common denominator, basically.
Yeah.
And
I cannot believe that they wouldn't support Venture Brothers, but Squidbillies is still happening. Yeah. Like, who is really watching that show?
I'm not going to say it, but you know what word I'm thinking of.
Yeah. My brain is just like, no. Not even if the TV was stuck Like, we were at a hotel for a con one year, and it came on, and I got up and found the remote to turn it off, because I can't sit through that show. It's garbage. And there are Adult Swim shows that I watched that were completely absurdist that I didn't mind. Like, I loved Drinky Crow. That didn't last long enough. I loved Flapjack and stuff like that. It used to come on late at night on Adult Swim. It was just a drinking.
I used to like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's one of those nonsensical shows.
Exactly.
But even that was funny. I mean, it was never meant to be serious.
Frisky Dingo. You know.
Yeah, Frisky Dingo.
Which sparked. So it's just like,
son of a whore, Barnaby.
So,
I still use that.
Yeah.
I still use that to this day.
So Cartoon Network has the ability, they just don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't see the numbers for it. And it's why I'm glad.
It's an investment, though. That's the thing they're not looking at. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get an immediate return off of this, but you're investing in the future.
And the viewership. You know, and they don't, like I said, like I watched what they did with Adventure Time as well.
Yeah.
That show was their cash cow for the longest time. And then it got to the point where you didn't even know when new episodes are going to be on.
I still have not seen, we're going to have to sit down and watch the whole series. I still haven't seen like the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I bought them when they came out because I was worried about them because they stopped doing the Blu-rays. Like the last season of it only had a DVD release. Mm-hmm. And I was really mad about that because I was like, Blu-ray, DVD. And the only way you can get that on DVD is if you buy the box set. The big, huge, complete series box set.
Wow.
Did that with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you guys stop promoting shows that people like that are popular? And Nickelodeon, we're not just trashing on Cartoon Network.
Nickelodeon has done the same.
Nickelodeon's done it too. They did it to Butch Hartman. They did it to
Teenage Robot, I think, as
Teenage
well.
Robot.
There was
a
couple of them.
Danny
Making
Phantom.
Fiends. Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like Danny, he was ready. He was like, we were the top rated show. Everything was going good. He goes, I was getting ready to do another season, and they said, and you're not gonna have that.
Yep.
And like I said, I don't know all the politics behind it or anything like that, but they've done it to more than just that person. It
makes it hard for those of us who not only like anime, but want to write and get into the field because there's no stability, there's no job security in it.
Yeah,
so a lot of us are taken to like independent streaming. Like what I want to do with our stories is independently do it and put it on our channel because I just can't trust networks with what we want to do.
The problem with the network is like, we'll give you a show if you do it this way. They don't want to be like, hey, we like your idea for your show, we'll let you do it on our platform.
But a lot of people started online as well, like the guy who created We Bare Bears. But that was another thing that I think they needed another season. Yeah. And now they're coming out with the Baby Bear stuff because that was popular too.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, how long? How long are they going to support it?
How long is it going to be supported? Are they going to get the same people to work on it?
Are you going to actually get stories? Yeah. Or is it going to be another go?
I'm curious about Ice Bear. Like, they had a whole story that they did not...
I'm a huge Ice Bear fan.
They did not get into. They teased you with the thing of...
The Yuri and
him finding out that's his daughter and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they just didn't go anywhere with it because they ended it.
Exactly.
I was like... Stop doing that.
Yeah.
You're giving people like complexes. I'm not like, that's like reading a book, being like, boy, I really like this book, putting it down and never finishing it.
No, or like that one manga that I was telling you, and I gotta tell this story, y'all, because it drives me nuts. Sometimes I'll find random psychological mangas that I just get pulled into. And there was this one manga where this girl was trying to kill herself because her family had fallen into debt and her parents were gone. And she runs into this like serial killer young kid. And they just get into a whole bunch of capers on the promise that he'll help her get revenge against the people who forced her father into this debt.
Right.
But the premise was he gets to kill her for that.
Right.
That was the payment. And there was just so much going on, and they were taking on cops and Yakuza, and it comes to this cliffhanger, and then the guy who was creating it just disappeared.
Yeah.
His last Twitter post was an IV at a hospital, and then he's just gone dark.
Yeah.
And everybody has been speculating for the last 4 years on what could have happened. And my brain is just like, I just need closure. You got to finish the story. I really want to know how it ends.
Yeah.
I don't care if the end sucks. Just give me something.
Right.
You know? But this happens a lot in anime and manga where you get the story and then the person either for mental health reasons or physical health reasons can't finish it, and then you're stuck.
And that's the thing, like, a lot of these companies, like, a lot of them aren't bad. There's a few of them that are like, hey, you know what, you're the creator, we'll do this on your timetable, just, give us...
And then there's poor Naoko Taguchi who has to deal with Toei's bullcrap, and that's why I didn't get my fucking stars animated the way it should have. And I'm sorry I cursed.
And that's why Axiom's channel is
but I'm so pissed off that we didn't get a full Sailor Moon series done from regular to stars animated. I was hopeful. Crystal was really good. I enjoyed season 1, season 2, and then they were like, yeah, we're not going to do any more. It's like, wait, what?
Right.
You were doing well. It was like the feeling I got when they did Brotherhood. I was finally seeing the manga fleshed out as anime, and then again, Toei got me again. Yeah. It's like Stars is cursed. They do not want us to have it over here.
Like, I don't know what stranglehold Toei's got on it, but they need to let it go.
Yeah.
Because they're going to kill the story for people, and it's just like, you have a good story, let the person tell it.
And you can inspire a whole new generation of fans. I know I will never stop loving Sailor Moon, and heaven help us if we have a daughter ever, because their room's going to be totally decorated in that.
I'm just going to move out at that point.
Stop it.
Move out to the shed. What is that? That's Greg's house.
Could be worse. It could decorate it as Tempest style. Ranga everywhere. He's my favorite this year. I love Ranga. He is my favorite character on Slime. And then one of the biggest things that happened at Anime in 2021, which might be a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, you might want to hit mute for a second, but it was the big reveal of the traitor in UA High. Which,
honestly, if you haven't heard about that, you are
living under a rock.
Really good at avoiding spoilers, and why are you even on my channel?
Yeah. Because they made it feel like it was going to be Invisible Girl.
Yeah.
And to me, that would have made sense. It would have been a gut punch.
Yeah.
But it would have made a lot of sense. It could have been played off very well. But it was...
I'm kind of glad it wasn't, though.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just there's something off about the kid that it was.
They just need to flesh out female characters better. I know it's a shoujo manga. I know it's supposed to be... Well, it's a shounen, because shoujo is more for girls. I know that it's supposed to, be more geared for boys, but you got females in that manga that end up dead most of the time.
I don't mind watching when the female heroes start kicking butt.
And even the female villain, that freaky girl with the blood, she freaks me out, but she's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching. She really does squeeze me out, but she's interesting to watch. And it was like, it could have been an interesting dynamic to have another female villain, like finding out her motivations, why she's doing it, how All Might have given her the powers. But I get why he didn't want to do that, because her powers are really strong.
Yeah.
And if she had been working for All Might, it would have been, not All Might, All for One, it would have been game over. But the kid they did do that, it was just like, I really didn't care for him anyway. Yeah. He was like one of the few students that if you didn't see him, you really didn't think about him.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about that is with My Hero, it's unlike Slime, there are forgettable characters.
Yeah, there are. And it's sad because Ayoma isn't really one of those characters that stood out. It's like he got a navel laser, big whoop. I kind of felt bad for him because at first they made it seem like, I'm mocked for my power. And I could kind of understand that. I think anybody who grew up nerdy can understand feeling ostracized and not one of the cool kids. So it was kind of like, oh, all right, I understand him on that level. But he was still one of those characters that if he wasn't there, I didn't miss him. And I just feel like him being revealed as a traitor just makes me go, well, I hope they kill him. And that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I
do want to see the new movie, though.
Yeah, so do I. I'm looking forward to that. Because my whole thing is My Hero does have good character growth. Like, Bakugo gets on my nerves. And like I tell everybody, I'm so glad that you had me watch the movies before the show. Because I think the first few episodes, just his attitude would have made me stop watching.
Yeah, I think you got to see the first movie before we actually started watching the series.
Yeah,
together.
so
I started watching the series and then
got into the movie. Yeah. And his attitude in the movies kind of got on my nerves, but it wasn't as bad. I think had I started with his attitude as somebody who struggled with mental health, I couldn't have gotten through it because he's a brutal character.
Yeah.
And I still don't agree with a lot of the way he comes across at all.
Yeah, and it's funny because with my new job we had 3 weeks of training, so we were all sitting in there together, and everybody in there was big anime, comic geeks, and everything like that. Not everybody, but good majority of the class. If allowed, we could have sat there and talked about anime and manga and games and stuff for all 3 weeks.
And let me tell you, coming on our New Year 2022 cast, we will be showing all our Christmas stuff because I'm excited. I can't wait till you get your stuff.
I already showed one. I showed that one you got me. I took it right in for the interview. I was like, I got one of my Christmas presents early. It's Shizu! Yay! But there was one guy in there that he, nice guy. I have no issue with him, but he really hates My Hero. He really hates Deku.
The reason he hates it is so ridiculous,
and he's a big Naruto fan, and I'm like, fine, you know what? Hey, if Naruto's on, I'll watch Naruto. I don't got a problem watching the show. I actually sat down and watched. I'm not
into it, but
I think I watched most of the earlier series, not all of it, because they got to their shonen games, and then they got attacked. So there's a lot of parallels between My Hero and that, and I didn't get to finish much of that. And then the next part I watched was when he was a teenager. I'll sit down and watch it. I can enjoy it as much as anything. I don't hate on it, though. This guy hates Deku.
and the main reason he hates him is just...
Yeah, it's like... And then he mentioned that he does a anime review podcast every once in a while. He'll watch 3 episodes of an anime and give you his interpretation on it. I was like, you can't judge an anime based on the first 3 episodes. Yeah. There are a lot of... anime and stories out there that start great and end horribly, or they start horrible and it just ends great. You can't judge a whole book by the first 3 chapters of it.
Yeah.
So to base your whole judgment and to not go back because you saw the first 3 and that's what you're gonna thing your opinion on, I'm not a fan of that. At least watch the first season.
Deku really kept me watching because I like seeing somebody who allegedly, because I'm still going with your theory that he had power and it was taken by that doctor.
I gotta say, there's just something weird on it.
Or he has a stockpile power.
I think he had a quirk much like
the original's brother, One for All's.
One for All. I think he had a quirk that just wasn't detectable.
Or All for One. I get him so much.
Yeah, well, One for All is what All Might had.
And All for One
is what the other guy had.
Yeah.
So I think Deku had a quirk like
his brother.
One for All. It's a stockpiling quirk, or it enhances other quirks.
Or like his brother.
He has an ability that he can understand and bond certain powers. Or maybe he has a completion quirk where he'll take a quirk and he'll upgrade it and he'll make it better than what it was.
Look at how he used Black Lightning. He uses Froppy style because he loved watching his teammates and friends and learning their style and stuff. He's able to mimic styles.
Yep.
He has a now spidey sense from what they said in the manga as well, which was one of the original powers that's inside of him as well.
Yeah, and I think he had something and the doctor took part of it or all of it. And I don't know if that... I think he might have been able to take some of it, but not all of it, and that's why he's not completely powerless. I think there was something there.
Yeah.
And I don't think he understood what it was, but I think he copied it to All for One.
Yep.
So, but that's just my... That's just it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I gotta stop doing that joke. Matt Pat's gonna come after me with a vengeance.
But yeah, I just feel like the whole reveal of stuff for 2021 has me amped for 2022. I am definitely looking forward to a lot of things in 2022, especially game-wise.
Oh, the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for that. I cannot wait for the new Sonic movie.
And I know that I'm kind of not into Robert Pattinson. I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of women that are going to be like, what? No Twilight? No.
I hate Twilight with a passion.
But I want to see him as Batman.
I am interested to seeing how he plays Batman and how he plays Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because I think what we've had so Michael Keaton,
phenomenal
Batman.
But I'm loving him in the MCU too. So.
Phenomenal Bruce Wayne.
Phenomenal Vulture. He made me like the Vulture.
He
made me like the Vulture. I hated him as a kid.
He took a villain that was
completely unforgettable
and actually made him a threat. That is amazing ability.
Exactly. You used to look at the Vulture with pity.
I'm waiting to see him as old Batman.
Yeah.
I'm like, what movie is he going to be in as Batman again? I want to see that movie.
Yup. Sign me up.
I want to see him as old Bruce Wayne. That is going to be awesome. I would love to see them give him a TV series where it's Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of in Terry's ear telling him how to, hey, do this, training him and stuff like that. I think that would be a great thing, and HBO Max could do it.
Yeah.
I think that would... HBO Max, we love your app. You need to do this idea.
And bring us Harley Quinn Season 3, because we loved that, too.
Yeah, that was a good...
That was really good. We watched that this year, too, and I was blown away by how well it was written. I loved the... It was another one where I really liked all the characters.
Yeah.
Even the characters you meant to hate were funny. Because Kite Man got on my nerves.
Oh, God.
He got on my nerves so badly.
Kite Man was annoying. Every time you saw him, it's just like...
I want to punch him.
I was like, he seems like such a nice guy, but it's just like, why are you a villain? You should be like one of the lesser superheroes.
Yeah.
Howard...
A sidekick or something.
Yeah, something. And
he tries so hard too.
What was the little guy that kept he got in trouble because he called Wonder Woman the C word?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, what was his name? He's a magician type guy.
Oh, he's got mental powers.
Yeah.
And I know his name because I used to play...
I could see him as I closed my eyes.
I used to play Hero Clicks, and I had his little figure, and I was just like, what the heck is this? I can't think of what his name is. I want to call him Mr. Mind, but I know that's not it. Because Mr. Mind is the little worm that Shazam fights.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Even him as a hated character, just like you hated him, but it was okay.
He was funny.
Yeah.
He made it he's a dick. Yeah. He never
Dr. Psycho.
Yeah, Dr. Psycho.
Dr. Psycho.
Never shied away from being that guy.
Yeah.
He was rude, dismissive, opportunistic, but he sold it so well.
Yeah.
And even Bane makes me laugh because he's just so crapped on in that series, but it's funny. It reminds me of the Venture Brother. Yeah. That's why I like it so much.
Yep.
You know? So I'm looking forward to season 3 of that.
Yep. But yeah, I saw I haven't actually, I've seen the images from the trailer, but I haven't actually seen the trailer in its entirety for, audio and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to that Sonic movie because it looks like they did an excellent job of taking what they worked well in the first movie.
Yeah.
And transitioning to it. And Idris Elba is Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
And like I said, he did really well in the Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
He sold his character. I am looking forward to more of that.
And I will say this. If the pandemic is better by the time that comes out, I would think about going to the theater. But that's not until April.
He can think about going by himself.
And it would have to get a lot better.
Yeah. We're already in the O's for naming this thing, so my brain is.
I think it would be funny because that's the last movie we actually went to the theater and see was Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. And the first movie that we could see again would be Sonic the Hedgehog.
You keep saying we. I'm team endorse.
I love you.
You think so?
I'll entice you. I'll go out and try to find
even with our boosters.
I'll get a Ranga plush tied to a rope, and I'll just kind of lure you out to the car.
That's not fair. And then on top of that, anytime I sneeze or cough afterwards, you'd be a mess.
Oh, anytime I'd sneeze or cough afterwards.
Exactly. So yeah, no, none of that.
That's the one thing I hate. I absolutely hate about this pandemic is I woke up this morning and I had
I was all congested.
A little bit of blockage right here, and I started coughing, and I was like, oh God. Because yesterday I had to answer the door for mail without putting a mask on, and I put a mask on for everything. If I'm dealing with somebody that's not living in the house, I mask up. So my first thought instantly jumped to paranoia, and I was like, calm down, you're just waking up.
It's winter.
Weather has been weird, your sinuses are bad. Just keep it calm, and nothing. But it's like every time, she's right, it's like every time somebody coughs or sneezes, we both go, what?
Yep.
Could it be? Is it maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of the guys that I work with now, he's had it for about a week.
Wow.
And I don't know if he was vaccinated or not, but he tested. He said the last day of training he tested negative, and it was just like he missed like half a week's worth of training.
Wow.
Because of that, and that's just crap, man.
Yeah,
one of my trainers.
We've had friends that have had it and survived, and we have friends who had it and didn't. So we're taking it serious.
One of my trainers said, she goes, I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
She goes, I do not leave the house. I work from home. Stuff gets delivered. I do not leave the house.
And for us, outside pickup, that's it. And even then, now that we get a lot more stuff that will deliver to where we are, because we're kind of in the boonies, we try to utilize that and strategic shopping now.
As much delivery as we can, and I'll probably go out once a month to get like major grocery purchases, just because the delivery fee some places want is just like,
and I wouldn't want to put like the way we shop, especially bulk. I wouldn't want to put that on the delivery person.
Well, that and it's like then you're still with a person. I was like, with pickup, I don't have to deal with the person.
Yeah,
I was like,
they put it in the back of the car. We go home.
Put it in the trunk. Okay, see you later.
Yep,
that's it.
Exactly.
It's Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Brian, you're late. You should have been here earlier.
And he does, Solomon. I do agree. He's not a good guy. There's a lot of animators that are awful.
Not Brian. Butch Hartman.
No.
I should have let it go. Let Brian think we were talking about it.
No, Brian knows.
What do you mean you're working?
Oh, well, Brian, it is the season for that.
I don't care. Take a day off. Call in sick.
You're trying to get the... He has a family, man.
You can come work at my company.
Brian, he really misses working with you. Not enough to be around people, but he definitely...
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Not enough to be around people, but I do miss working with you.
Yeah, he does.
Every day.
But we got to find a game to all play together, too.
I told him Destiny's cross-platform, so maybe we can get him to play that.
And we do have to get back into it, because I want to bake cookies. They get me every year with that nonsense. Baking and delivering cookies, like, what? I'm supposed to be a guardian. Why am I doing this? But they get you hooked.
2 electronics positions open. Not enough to put up with people, man. Sorry.
I noticed he said 2.
I clearly stated not enough to put up with people.
If you hire me, I'm going to punch people.
He'd be okay with that. The only reason you would be fired is if, like, his bosses told him that he had to fire you. You would not get fired from Brian for punching people.
I'd probably punch those bosses, too, though.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Have we reached the point of not being able to find people that's acceptable now, Brian?
Oh, wow.
Have we finally reached the point of we're going to look the other way if we have to, customer service?
Yeah. The older I get, the less filter I have.
Are we almost there?
Not quite.
How much further do my fingers have to get together? Like, are we this close? That close? A little bit closer than that? Right about there?
Yeah, I mean...
If we can start punching people, yeah, I'll think about going back to work.
Yeah, especially if I can wear a mask and gloves, and it's just like, you just said something really stupid. Oh, you want to argue with me about price? Yeah. Oh, Monday should be like free for all.
Right.
She pushed me. You were in my way. Shelves ain't gonna stock themselves.
Right. Excuse me, I'd like to talk to your manager. How about my manager and my supervisor?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I am the manager. Like that skit.
There was somebody that, like, I don't know, was it Brian might have shared it to me. I don't remember that. Like, there was some guy, like, I think it was a Subway worker, and
I love the IKEA guy too, the customer service guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna go somewhere else?
Oh, you're gonna go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Well, yippee freaking do.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Who else is gonna put up with you?
Yeah. 10 years of retail. He said everything that I thought every time a customer said something, but we couldn't say it.
Yeah. But there was a person that's like, I work at a Subway, and there's no management here. There's the guy that owns it, and then it's just basically monitored by the employees.
Yeah.
And this lady came in to complain, and she goes, I want to speak to your manager. And he goes, I'm the manager. He goes, no, I want to speak to the person in charge. I was like, well, he goes, the guy that owned the place told us very specifically, never give my number out to anybody. So he goes, I gave her the number to the store. She called right there, picked up the phone, started dialing, called it. The phone rang. It was like, hello, this is management. And he goes, the look on her face was priceless.
I just love that comedian that was like, yeah, they go in the back, and it's like, I don't know why they're back there. The kitchen's right there.
Yeah.
They got the toaster oven and the microwave.
Yeah. Well, they're not going into the kitchen. The kitchen is the toaster oven.
But we love Subway. We love Subway.
Subway.
As
Subway.
One of our favorite YouTube animators call it.
Like, whenever...
Drop the thumbs.
Whenever they say, can you go in the back and check? We've already been back there. We've already checked.
I did like that because I would go back there and just have a break.
I honestly, after a while of instead of arguing with them, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, I can go back there. And I would go back there and I talked to Brian.
Yeah.
There was one day he came back there and he saw me just leaning on the shelf. And he goes, what are you doing? They wanted me to check the back. Did you check? Yeah. I said, what are you doing now? It's like, just making it look like I actually put some time into it.
Yeah.
Because I knew we didn't have it.
Exactly. But they swear somehow we're not paid enough to hide stuff from you. We want you to buy it and get out of our faces. But you seem to think that we just have a stockpile like the back is Narnia of goods.
My question is like, our whole thing in retail, at least for sales retail, is to sell you product. Why would I not sell you a product if I had it in the back?
Yeah.
I'm not keeping it for me.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping it for somebody else.
Exactly.
I want to sell it to you so you will go away.
Yeah. Take it and go home.
I don't want you there. That's what really drove me nuts about the people that would come in on like Black Fridays and be like, I can't believe they have them working today. Yeah. It's like, because of you.
I think that the people that were worst are the ones that they developed relationships with us that just weren't there.
Yeah.
Like they acted like we were their best friends, and I didn't remember their names at all.
I had about 10 of those. Yeah. And I don't remember their names. We came up with fun little names for you.
Yeah.
Like Twitchy.
Yeah, Twitchy was a
Twitchy Hat Guy. Then there was one guy that was just. He doesn't deserve to be in this group because he was a sweet old man, but we just called him the old guy.
Yeah.
I suppose I should do my October CV.
Oh, poor Brian.
I'm sorry, Brian. Can't you don't you have those memorized by now? Haven't you done those enough that you can just fake your way through it?
I'm telling you, once our book and stuff is released and we're making that kind of money, I'm hiring Brian.
Oh yeah, I'm hiring Brian.
He's definitely going to be that guy that's like, they don't really want to talk to you.
Creative consultant. And then what do you guys do? We play video games and rag on people.
I just like that I have somebody that has no problem telling people to leave them the F alone, and no.
Yeah.
Tim's not interested.
Brian, you're gonna be our public relations coordinator. Can you handle that?
I think he can.
Can you handle talking to the press for us so we don't have to?
Tim just said she wanted to burn down the world. What does she mean by that? She didn't stutter.
She said she's going to burn you all with a bright, shining hellfire. I'm going to fire 3 people this week. Well, that's a slow week for you, Brian.
I remember the first time I had to fire somebody when I was in finance, and it was rough. I did not think I could handle it. By the third one, I was like, you know what? It's a living.
Yeah.
Because you get to the point where it's not... If it was something like, oh, we're downsizing, you got to fire, that I think would have hit me. No, I always got the dumbasses that were doing awful things.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know what? We're better off without you here, so yeah, you're fired.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't want to do it. It's anxiety after a while.
Yeah.
You know? I don't miss those days.
Even with the new job, every time that phone rings, it's like, oh, God, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Hi, thank you for calling. How can I help you?
Yeah. As long as it ain't some weirdo calling to sing you the songs of vegan lifestyle. I will never forget that guy.
I shared that story, and I was really worried because there was a guy in our group that I think he was vegan, or he was, like, he may have been secretly vegan, or he may have just been, like, the rag on it, but every time something come up, he would bring up vegan, and I was like, what if that was the guy?
Oh, I hope not. He was so insistent. He wanted my email address. He wanted my phone number. I was like, sir, we don't do that.
Yeah, I can't give you that.
I can't give you. I'm customer service.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that kind of service.
Right.
I don't want to go back to that. I can't. This is why I write. Writing is where I'm
Brian,
at. I'm in my head.
I want you to text me why you're firing those 3 people. I don't want you to give it to us over this for legality reasons, but I want my phone to go off in a little bit. I want to hear why these people are getting fired. You don't have to give names or nothing, just what situation are they getting fired for.
Oh, man. But, yeah, 2021 has been crazy. I know Paramount's doing the South Park thing where they're all older, and I've been seeing a lot of clips of that, and it's like, I don't watch South Park now, but
attendance, that sucks.
Oh, yeah. Darn it.
Brian, if you want, like, I'll do a phone interview with you. You can fire me over the phone, and I can call you a douchebag or something. That'll kind of hired fire right over the phone.
So crazy.
Actually, Brian wouldn't fire me. I wouldn't be able to get out that easy.
Exactly. Oh, that interview would lock you in. So
he'd have to really bring the base pay up because.
That and tranquilize you to get you there, kind of like the A-Team.
Right.
Yeah, how they got BA on the airplanes.
Brian, let me ask you this. Could I work as a digital presence? Like, could we hook monitors up and I control a little drone robot by control from here? And just through the internet, and I provide excellent customer service?
I want that for parenting.
You can't have that for parenting. I mean, technically, the kid's a digital presence. Really not sure that station's on all the way half the time. But...
It's static most of the time.
Well, when you're talking to him, he's just looking at you, and you're just like, I can hear the tune in, pay attention.
Yeah. That bat signal's been dim for a while, though.
No, not paying attention.
Not there, not there, not there.
We may have to do a part 2 next week, maybe.
Yeah, because there's still stuff that we want to look forward to.
Talk to gaming. I wanted to talk about Metroid and how good that game was.
It would take me a good hour if I go on my Dragon's Age 4 rant, because I don't know now. We watched that thing with Charlie the other day, Moist Critical, for those of you who watch him on Twitch, where they did that gaming reward, and it seemed like Dragon's Age 4 had a new trailer and a name, but you can't find anything about it now. And now they're talking about it's not coming out till August of next year, maybe. So I got a whole rant, so yeah, maybe next week we will show up for just a little bit, since it's going to be Christmas.
Yeah, it's going to be well, it is going to be Christmas.
But we get to show off stuff.
Yeah, we can show off our presents.
Show off our presents.
We'll be like, hey, we're going to finish.
I'm going to find my Santa hat.
I think I had one too somewhere.
I know they're in our boxes somewhere.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to get dinner.
Yep.
Get everything set up. You don't I'm ticklish.
I did not know that.
I am extremely ticklish. Sitting there trying not to cough and you start tickling me. We will see you all later. From now on, my streams are going to still...
Monday, Wednesday,
Friday, probably from 6 p.m. to 9 or 8, depending on how my workday goes.
Yeah.
So I am going to try to get those 3 hours in. Greg is very ticklish. Don't ask me how I know that.
He has pictures of you sleeping on my phone, Brian. It's okay.
Brian, we know how you know that. Gosh.